Car rams into a wolf and flees the scene. What happened after is just touching. With fairy tales like Little Red Riding Hood and sayings like a wolf in sheep's clothing, wolves are often cast as the villain. After having analyzed nearly 100 reported wolf attacks, however, Mark E. McNay, via patsonmom.me, states there have been no reliable North American accounts of wolf attacks resulting in human death throughout the entire 20th century. So it would seem that wolves aren't as dangerous as we might think. Sometimes they may even be the victims. In March of 2016, a wild wolf was hit by a car in the Israeli countryside outskirts. Instead of stopping to see if the animal was okay or even calling someone for help, the driver fled the scene, leaving the poor wolf to die by itself. As the wolf did its best to limp down the road, someone spotted the injured dog and decided they needed to help. The angelic strangers took the dog under their wings, bringing it to a veterinarian who would ultimately save its life. When the wolf got to the vet, it was nicknamed Olial, and boy was he scared after everything he'd been through. The veterinarians examined the wolf's leg, discovered that it had been broken by the careless driver. Emergency surgery was required to fix it, so Olial was anesthetized while veterinarian surgeons put his leg back together. But that was only the beginning for poor Olial. He still had a long way to go before he was ready to be released back into the wild. He would need to be healthy enough to catch prey, and the vets would need to make sure that all of his injuries had healed correctly. It took 4 long months, but eventually Olial was strong enough to return to the wild. When it came time for him to get into the cage, though, he had no idea what was going on and was absolutely terrified. But he'd soon find out soon enough. When Olial and the vets arrived at their destination, the box was removed from the truck and placed on the ground. The vets then opened the cage and waited. And after a few seconds, Olial finally understands. You can almost hear him shouting, "I'm home!" Thankfully, despite the driver's heartless actions, Olial the wolf was able to return to the wild and live his life as before. But were it not for the angelic people who brought him to the vet, he likely would not have survived. The next time you see an injured animal or person, please stop to help, because it only takes a moment to potentially save a life. Please share this with your friends and family.